Hi, I'm Nicole Kerr. I've been in practice for about 12 years now, and I signed up for the preview mentorship with Jacqueline. After completing that program, I think it was 8 weeks, I decided that a further dive into fertility, the treatment of fertility, and the business aspect of it was something I really wanted to learn more about. And Jacqueline's program sounded pretty much perfect. So I signed up for it. And after the last year of working together with her and a team of other docs, I feel much more prepared for patients that come in with unexplained fertility, whether it be male or female oriented. I think the biggest thing I could say I took away from the mentorship was the business aspect, just everything that was given to us in detail on how to do automation for emails, how to do your website, how to do things that we're not taught necessarily as doctors, but is very important for a successful practice. The focal points on that were right on, and I don't think I would have been able to learn the depth that I learned in any other one single program. So I was very, very pleased and happy with the amount that I got on that end, because you can know everything about fertility, but if you're not getting the patients, none of that really matters. So I was very appreciative of that component for sure. Practice for about 12 years now. After 4 years, I went on maternity leave. I came back with the understanding I was very interested in pursuing fertility. I had been treating women's health, so I had a lot of knowledge on how to regulate cycles, what to look for PCOS, but the fertility component I wasn't as proficient with. I didn't know all of the therapies that could be used, the most modern therapies, because I had taken 4 years off. So I really wanted to get the foundation back, but also I learned a lot more things that I had never heard of being used for fertility components, aspects. Yeah, I think that overall, the fertility aspect of my practice is going to see faster results now because of the protocols and the information that the mentorship offered me. Okay, so with the mentorship, you can't go in thinking that everything's going to be spoon-fed to you, which is very beneficial because you have to do the work to get your business plan down, to get your avatar started. You need to put some work in, which is very, very helpful in the growth of seeing all business aspects. I don't know what else you asked.
Was it easy, like the format of?
Yes, the timing of it. That's where I was going for. In the beginning, I thought that it would consume most of my week because a lot of the information was new for me when it came to the business aspect of things, and also just wanting to learn as much of the protocols, as much of supplements and herbs that are offered through the mentorship. So it isn't as time consuming as I thought once I got into it. It's probably 1 to 2 hours a week, and some weeks I wouldn't do anything. But the more time you put into it, I definitely can see the more benefit and the more I got out of it. The material's always put up right at the beginning of the month, so you can just sit down. I usually was on the first day just because I was so excited to get the next batch of information. And it would be an hour that I sit down, have my notebook, and just absorb the information. From there, I would revisit it, but it isn't overwhelming when it comes to how much time to put into it. But it is a lot of information that you get in the time that you do spend on it.
And so what would you say, like if someone just asked you, I'm thinking about doing this, like, is it worth the money? It's a lot of money. Is it worth it? Do you think I should do this or not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So having been in practice for almost 12 years at the time that I signed this up, it was a conflict of my mind trying to know if it was worth the money, because how much could I be taught that I didn't already know? But there's a lot that I was taught that I didn't know. And I would put the money back into that program again if I knew that the same information could be expanded upon at the same degree. So it was definitely, in my opinion, worth the money if you want to focus your practice on fertility and you want to know the most up-to-date and recent treatment protocols you learn a lot about what art is doing. And that's important for us to know what they're doing to stay at the best that we can do for our patients. So it's not just learning the naturopathic components of things, it was also learning allopathic and how they go about things. So that to me was worth the money for sure.
Cool. Another question. Oh, what was your favorite part of the mentorship? Like, what was the best or your favorite aspect of the mentorship? I know you talked about like the business and how much you got out of it, but if you like, what were your one favorite or a couple of favorite things about it?
Sure. My hands down most favorite thing was a weekend away with Jacqueline. It was an intensive team effort work. We sat down for 13 hours on a Saturday, and the other participants and myself, we just really delved into making the final week or so of the program worth it by focusing on our business component, how to get the people to turn over to be patients. But having that time as a group was very beneficial, and just seeing what others were doing and being in the same room with them at the same time. So I think that was extremely beneficial to have. One of my favorite things. It was a lot of fun too. The other components that I really enjoyed were the business aspect of things, because I feel like I struggled with that a lot. A lot of people that are starting out, I mean, I had already been established in practice. They may not be able to pay somebody to do their social media and their marketing and all these things. And this program tells you and shows you how to do it yourself, which is beneficial for a lot of startups. So those were the top two things I would take from my experience with the mentorship.